This is a limited series powered by the Work Defined Podcast Network.
This is William Tincup and Ryan Leary, and we are podcasting from Fama's booth at HR Tech. We are learning about HR nightmares. We're trying to figure out and do some of the archaeology around what these things happen, or what they are, and how they happen, and maybe even potentially how we can solve them. While we do some introductions, Karina.
Thank you, William.
Could you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hey, everyone. Great to be here. My name is Karina Monathan, and I am the Director of Global Strategic Workplace Insights at Great Place to Work, which is a very word salad fancy way of saying that I lead the U.S. list development and research.
We need to connect you with Leah Daniels and Rhea Moss.
Okay.
Because they're data nerds, too.
Ooh, I would love to geek out with that.
Oh, yeah. One's at iSIMS, the other's at JobSeek.
Beautiful.
So they're sitting on Hawk.
Please work your networking magic for me.
Okay. Now, Lydia.
Yes, thanks for having me here. So, Lydia Wu, self-acclaimed recovering consultant and HR executive, currently content creator with Whoops Did I Think That Out Loud, a real talk BFF kind of thing about all things HR tech.
Oh, I love that.
It's like we need to learn more about
it. Oh, yes.
Our nightmare.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of nightmares for it. This is a 30-minute show now.
Do we have a podcast, or what do we have?
We a LinkedIn newsletter. We have an Instagram channel, thinking about podcasts possibly. So let's see how we do with the nightmares, and maybe that'll be a series.
100%.
There we go.
100%. All right, let's do some nightmares. All right.
Okay.
What do you have?
It's you.
Like that.
This is going to be interesting. So I have two top candidates. I'm going to pick one.
No, you got to do both.
Should I do both?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do both.
Got to do both.
So I'm going to start with the employee-facing one. I used to work in manufacturing, and there's a lot of hazardous materials in the manufacturing industry of what we work with.
Mm-hmm.
So we have hazardous showers because, just in case there's OSHA compliance and everything else.
Right.
Yeah, so we found out someone was filming OnlyFans videos in our hazardous showers. And so I'm pretty sure the background of that thing was featured in platforms where we would rather not see it be featured at.
100%. Was your brand? Was it at least on brand?
They angled the camera the other way, but hoping that. Check it out.
I need it to be on brand. If that's going to happen, I got to at least get people to go, oh, wow, okay. They're really progressive at that company.
Like, we want that as an employer brand.
Oh,
Was the lighting good?
Yeah, I mean, so this is why Ryan mentions this. CEO of Aaron was on yesterday, and what his nightmare was, an employee was trying to show him a picture of his dog, and so he's sitting with him, and he's scrolling, and he scrolled to an image of himself.
Oh
in
God!
a hotel room.
No, stop.
All there.
Do it, yeah, whatever.
And he said to Ryan, he's like, hey, for what it's worth, the lighting was good.
You know what, William? I just remember, because I've been thinking, I'm like, there's no way I have the HR nightmare I had in mind. Could not stand up to that, but you just helped me remember something that happened several years ago.
Do tell.
Quite a while ago, actually. I was working with a male colleague, and he was showing me pictures of his daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Scrolling. There's my penis. How did that get there? And he paused for quite some time and made a couple of comments about it.
Oh, so this wasn't an accident.
It was not an accident. It was pre-planned. I could tell.
He admired it, too.
He's like, got it closer.
You led with your daughter, and you got to that?
Did. He sure did.
Oh, that's
a couple of other examples with the same former colleague that I could go into, but that's what was triggered.
Yeah.
Your story.
What's your second one that you go to?
Oh my gosh. So my second go-to, HR executive meeting. So very, very senior people, seasoned in the industry, the whole nine yards. Like, in a room where you would expect incredibly politically correct language and everything else in between.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I get the stories like, yeah, the people we hire, they're squeezing mayonnaise on Subways yesterday, so why do we need to care about this? I'm sitting there going like, yeah, I'm sorry. How much do we pay you to say that? And what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And now we know why I'm no longer working industry HR.
Well, again, that's the language. If you're thinking about people that way, you've already demeaned them in such a way that are just peasants. These is the proletariat.
Subway sandwiches, it's hard to get the right amount of mayonnaise. Let's be real.
100%. Too much mayonnaise. Not a good.
Yeah, wrong amount of mayo. No good. Not a good sandwich.
Oh my God. Do you have another one that you want to get?
I do have another one.
All right.
This was very early on in my career, and I was working for a global corporation that had quite a few offices around the world, and the CEO was actually the son of the founders. And I think that companies can be really great, and sometimes they can be not so great. And he was the most narcissistic, mean man. I never actually met him, but I heard so many horror stories.
You didn't want to meet.
I didn't want to meet him. He once, in a large executive meeting where there was about 200 of the top executives, screamed at my boss, who was a woman, said that
Never a good look.
Stop acting like she could piss against a wall.
No.
And he led with so much fear. I mean, the emails that he would send were so degrading and derogatory, and it would cause an immediate spike of adrenaline and stress anytime any of us opened it. And that type of culture really trickled down to the point where all of the other leaders, including my boss,
Because they thought it was okay.
Exactly. And so we were in a very small satellite office. It was my boss and my colleague and myself, and just the three of us. They used to scream bloody murder at each other, my boss and my colleague. Like, they would go at it, practically throwing things at one another. It was the most toxic environment ever. And my colleague actually finally contacted HR. HR brought me into it because I'm the only person that isn't, on either side of this. And I was honest, and I told them what happened. And can you guess what happened?
You got fired?
No, but my colleague did.
Really?
So yeah, that was a bit of an eye-opening experience. My very first experience that someone contacted HR about some truly, completely unacceptable behavior.
But you probably did.
Nothing ever happened to him.
No.
Yes, that was really early on in my career. Was a pretty big intro to HR.
I'm trying to think if you could offend a female executive more. If there's triggers to do that.
Humiliated her in front of all of her executive peers.
Yeah.
So I actually have another story for you.
Oh, here we go. Yes.
This happened to me back in 2019. So I was 28, 29 at the time,
Right.
in a relatively senior role. And this was a HR executive retreat. Long and short of it, happy hour one evening, I had a male colleague, head of HR at the time at a company. And he just looks at me and goes like, "How old are you? You could be 20 or you could be 40. I can never tell with your genetics." And I'm like,
Wow.
how do you respond to that? I'm like, I work in HR so I can avoid this kind of stuff. But I can't believe we're doing this right now.
With your genetic.
With my genetics. Yeah.
These are things, I would be terrified to say this stuff.
I think it's just natural. I think that, you set up an environment where that just is a thing, and then people they take their cues.
Was this a product of the environment or getting too comfortable?
I think this was a product of the individual possibly and the extended comfort level that they assumed.
Right.
And I also would like to think that there is one of those generation gaps possibly in terms of vision. Arguably speaking, you still work in HR, so there's no excuse.
It was pre-2020, but still, I feel like hopefully maybe he learned a little bit in 2020, but probably not.
So
probably
in all
not.
4 cases, is there anything that we could have done to prevent what happened? Let's unpack our stories, right?
Many. So I think on the executive level, it's almost like we hire HR leaders because of their track record.
Right.
Without understanding their inside talking tracks. Because your point, the words you think are the emotions you express and the sentiments you express and the decisions you make. So in that regard, if your HR leader thinks a certain way, what is that scope of impact to your employees at the end of the day and their families and their circles, essentially, in relation? And I think for me, the OnlyFans shower story is just a byproduct of better background screening, really.
100%. 100%. And again, maybe a little training, I guess, but
What's the word? Social comes in.
Yeah.
monitoring social.
Oh yeah. If you're monitoring OnlyFans, you would have known about it in advance, and then you would have done something.
So really, it was kind of your fault for not spending more time on the platform.
Blame
doing your background research.
If you could just blame the victim more.
IT team's fault for putting in a firewall that didn't allow HR to
There you go.
platform and look at it.
This is
I like.
playing game is just going.
It's fast a banana. Got it. Totally understand. How about with some of your cases? Is there anything that we could have done?
Yes, I mean, I think that we have a serious problem with many organizations now, and I would imagine that it's much worse with family-owned companies, but even in any typical company, I think there is a big lack of accountability at the senior leadership level. And so we have seen, there's so many examples that we can point to of truly horrific behavior at the top level, and sometimes it does result in a press conference or something like that. But I think more often than not, it gets swept under the rug.
Right.
And there's just really no accountability, even when there is significant brand damage. But even when there's not, there is so much damage done to the employee experience, which we know, we have the data, has such a huge impact on your business success. And so I think that HR leaders really do need to do a better job of advocating with business leaders when they know that there are problems in leadership, to push harder to have these people removed, even if they're top performers, even if they're at the highest levels.
Doesn't matter. Performance, we used to kind of brush that top salesperson.
Yeah.
Right? We'll just say, we can't, it's top salesperson. I mean, what are we going to do?
Yeah. Should decide.
It's kills quota. So what?
And from my first example, that's actually not the only example that I can point to that's a bit of a, kind of sexual misconduct type of example of what I've experienced in my career thus far. There's been quite a few things that I can point to that just weren't that extreme. And I think it's more challenging to address that because I know for me, I never felt comfortable going to HR and to share any of that because I didn't.
Not many do.
I'd seen what happened with my colleague when
Correct.
he went to HR, and I also didn't want to rock the boat. So I did what I think a lot of women did, especially women early in their career who are young, who are the most vulnerable to this type of
Suffered silence.
I just kind of giggled and got uncomfortable and tried to, remove myself from the situation.
Which, again, not blaming or any of that type of stuff, that sends a signal, right? It's a wrong signal.
Right, that it's okay.
Yeah.
Not
The signal that, again, with Me Too, I think there's a more awareness, thank God. But it's like somebody shows you, it's like, put that away, that's inappropriate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so I don't
shut down.
I don't know from an HR perspective, to me, I think really making employees feel safe coming to you, but it's such a difficult position in HR because you are protecting the company and you're also protecting the people. So I don't know that there's a clear answer there, but I know I never felt comfortable.
They got to manage risk. They got to manage risk. That poses risk.
Yes.
That sexual harassment claim walking around, that's tremendous risk. So in that situation, HR would have erred on the side of, there's no training, there's none of that stuff. It's just you're a sexual harassment claim waiting to happen. It's just going to happen because you haven't learned. So
I'm not sure about you, but I feel more dirty after this
conversation.
A dirty man right now.
Well, I can't say that.
It's not my intention.
I can't say I'm going to take a shower because now I'm going to be thinking about OnlyFans. Good God, it's ruined for me. Thank you all so much for carving out time.
Yeah.
We really appreciate both of you.